Guys, what's up? It's OTN. We're back again. Rux is somewhere. He loves to play hide and seek when we don't want to play games, but I'll still be here, of course. You guys already know how that goes. This week we are going to be doing SCPs. Finally, we told you guys it was going to be last week. I know, I'm sorry. We wanted to put out the other Colonial In video, but this week we're doing SCPs. If anyone doesn't know what an SCP or what SCP is, it stands for Secure, Contain, Protect. And I'm going to describe it further, but the intro first, of course.
I was up late night balling. Almost made you want to throw the towel in.
So the first class we're going to explain to you guys is the class Safe. It kind of speaks for itself, but in case you can't really get the idea of, what safe means, it's not an initial threat to society, but it's just, it's still an anomaly, so they put it in the category of safe, and they're the type of anomalies that understand that they are being contained and they will be contained on a permanent basis. The second class is Euclid. It's basically for the anomalies that aren't necessarily completely understood, but they haven't exhibited a certain amount of danger that makes them go to the KETER classification, or the safe class. And the last class we're going to tell you guys is KETER. It's the most dangerous class. KETER is basically for the anomalies that pose a very high threat to society and to all of mankind as well. They're not understood, they're very unpredictable, and on top of that, a lot of them require extensive procedures in order to even keep them contained. Okay, now that we told you what SCP is and what all the classes are, now let's get into some SCPs. Okay, so the first SCP we're going to be talking about today is SCP-354. It's basically a pool of red liquid that was found in northern Canada. So when they found it, they built an area around it. It's called Area 354. And basically entities emerge from the pool. When somebody goes into the pool, it basically gets denser, and the bottom of the pool has never been reached. 354 has its own D-class personnel, and they sit in Area 354 and they watch over it, and any entities or threats that emerge from the pool, they handle. The first entity that came out of SCP-354 was SCP-354-1. All of these are going to be such a mouthful. Okay, so SCP-354-1 resembled a giant bat. It destroyed the watch station Epsilon 38, and everyone was found dead, and it was initially neutralized by a mobile task force. Okay, so the second thing that came out of SCP-354 was SCP-354-2, which was a bear-sized mammal that resembled an echidna. If you don't know what that is, it's a mammal that lays eggs, and it basically looks like a hedgehog, a porcupine, and a platypus mixed together. It was virtually bulletproof when they tried to subdue it. Didn't really work. It couldn't escape the enclosure though. Sorry, my tongue twister. But they had to neutralize it with napalm. Okay, so the third thing that came out of this red pool was SCP-354-3, which was a metallic sphere that was capable of levitation, and it was able to emit concentrated, precise beams of radiation that could cripple and later result in death. However, sadly, the doctor that was studying SCP-354-3 decided to hit it with a sledgehammer to disable it, which it kind of did what it was supposed to do, but then SCP-354-3 decided to self-detonate. And the doctor was very injured, but he fully recovered. So SCP-354-4 was a humanoid reptile creature that was 15 feet tall. He escaped the wall enclosure and Area 354 altogether. They tried to shoot him down, didn't really work out too well. They had to call Mobile Task Force Omega-7, which is also considered as Pandora's Box, to neutralize it. Okay, so the data on SCP-354-5 was basically corrupted, so we can't get any information on that, so we have to skip to the next one. SCP-354-6, which was a human of Indian descent that came out of this red pool. Now, the doctors didn't really have time to react because the wall hadn't been repaired yet from SCP-354-4, so they basically had to execute it almost immediately without even trying to analyze it or anything like that. And it was so bad that a doctor even expressed his displeasure with basically the quick execution of the human. Okay, so after SCP-354-6, it skips all the way to 14. A lot of data corruption, as you can imagine. But 354-14 was 5 octopus-like tentacles that came out of the water of the red pool and grabbed probably several D-class personnel and just took them right back into the pool. They tried to subdue it with gunfire, and it worked. SCP-354-14 retreated, but the bodies of the personnel were never found, and SCP-354-14 was never seen again. SCP-354-15 was a feline creature that was composed of blue-hued crystalline structure, which was later revealed to be ice. It was very agile, could dodge most of the gunfire that came at it when it tried to jump over the enclosed wall, which it did get over, but it's funny. When 354-16 came out of the pool, they got into a fight, and 354-15 was terminated.
Next one is SCP-682, a KETER class. This large reptile appears to be extremely intelligent, as it was observed communicating and engaging with SCP-079. This SCP also appears to hate all life. Looks like we have something in common. SCP-682 is extremely strong, fast, and has very quick reflexes. SCP-682 has also been seen moving and speaking at 87% body mass destroyed or rotted. The containment procedure for SCP-682 is to trap it in a 5x5x5 steel reinforced chamber with 25 centimeters of steel that is acid resistant. Then acid must be slowly fed into the chamber until SCP-682 is incapacitated. No humans are allowed to speak to SCP-682 for fear that it will throw it into a rage. SCP-048 is a Euclid class. It's a mid-sized dog of unknown origin that appears to have extremely human-like features such as intelligence, personality, and memories. Its name is Joey. It refuses to be called by anything else. It doesn't like to talk too much about its past, but when you give it liquor, it seems to be more willing to share information. But this is not advised, as the dog will become easily provoked at the slightest hint of disrespect. So don't look it dead in the eye, you dumb. Anyways, Joey has been reported to move at speeds previously unrecorded for both dogs and humans, and he features great enough jaw strength to bite clear through bone. Joey is allowed to live in a fully furnished living space and have access to any food or drink that he wants. Joey, however, has been neutralized. One evening during his evening meal, tranquilizers were placed into his meal and he fell in a deep sleep. After this point, doctors administered a large lethal dose of barbiturates that successfully killed Joey. Joey had to be put down because of numerous attempts at violence and the inability to contain him in a proper way. If you aren't already following the OTM Snapchat, you would know I'm Ross AM from Alternate Era. You can follow me on Instagram at ross.a.m, and you can follow my band at Alternate Era. Now, I gotta catch a plane back to San Diego, and I'm gonna pass it over to my good friend Rianne, but I'm not gonna do a ton of drugs when I get there. Here's Rianne. See ya!
Hey you guys, so the next SCP is 014. It's object class safe. He was called the Concrete Man. I was gonna say but it's a he. He represented a Caucasian male. He had brown eyes, black hair. He looked completely normal, but the weird part is, he got confined in 1915 in the Norwich Asylum in Connecticut because he basically delusional insanity. They tried to call him crazy because he said that he was turning into concrete because he had been cursed. He appeared to be about 30 years of age, and records indicate that his name was Robert Shetford. I don't know if I butchered that name or not. It's Shetford. But around 1937, the asylum closed down, and all of the patients went to other facilities. That's when SCP-014 got recognized, I guess you could say, by the Foundation. Concrete Man seems like a normal man, right? But the weird part is he doesn't possess a metabolism. He doesn't eat, drink, or sweat, and other than his eyes and his vocal apparatus, he's basically immobile. He can converse normally, but he shows little knowledge or interest of anything after his confinement. His containment procedures, he's meant to stay at his site in a chair with arms, preferably facing a window, and they play music for him. But he doesn't like anything that originates after 1937. The last SCP we're going to talk about today is SCP-088. He's called the Lizard King. He's object class safe. He's from Series 1. The Lizard King is basically a humanoid with reptilian features. It's in a state of hibernation because of the basic shape it's in, I guess you could say. But it could recover and come out of hibernation if it was in a more hospitable environment than the containment that they have for it now. Okay, SCP-088 is 6,000 years old. Really old. I don't know how it's still living, but it's stuck in hibernation until the containment procedures improve, I guess. But the Lizard King is able, right, to secrete hazardous biological compounds from its mouth and hands. The substance that comes out of SCP-088 could be used to great strategic value if they could replicate it, which they could, but they can't. They basically can't collect any type of sample without awaking SCP-088, and they don't want to do that. So until they figure out how to do it without making him come out of hibernation, the research is on hold. SCP-088 was found in a subterranean complex below California. Hey, wait, isn't that where Ross is from? It was found using a device called radio X-ray, and after they mapped out all the tunnels and gold deposits that were underground, basically, they found out that they had found the last city of the lizard people. Along with the Lizard King, there were 23 other beings that were found. None of them were alive, and after being examined, it was, I guess, said that they were originally human. SCP-088 has to be in an airtight case sealed at all times. It's made out of acrylic plastic. Well, it's transparent, obviously, so you could see through it. But in the case that it should awaken out of hibernation, there's a bunch of basic other things around it to hinder it from escaping, like plastics, ceramic type of things. This honestly kind of really freaks me out. So thank you guys for watching this week's video. We love you guys. If you guys think one of them is more creepier than the rest, then comment it below. You guys already know how to do that. Keep subscribing, keep liking, keep commenting, keep sharing. Do you guys this thing. We'll keep doing ours. OTN out.
I was up late night ballin'. Almost made you wanna throw the towel in.